Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'm actually going to be showing you guys the wheels that I purchased about 12 weeks ago. I've had these sitting in my garage ever since, and all I've been waiting for was tires to ever mount them. But for the meantime, I was going to show you guys what they are, what they look like, and go over in specs and all that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the car up on wood. That was when we jack it up. Alright, so the wheels I picked up are these Nissan 350Z wheels. They're 18 by 8 in the front and then 18 by 8.5 in the rear. I got them for a really good deal. I got them for $300 with tires, and then I ended up selling the tires and made like $200. So it was a pretty good deal. All I know is that the offset is like plus 30, so I am gonna need to run probably about like a 15mm spacer to get that like nice flush fitment. Alright, so we're gonna start by jacking the car up. That way we can just throw it on wood blocks and then dry fit the wheels. Alright, so the wheels are now mounted on the car. The only thing we're obviously missing is tires, but as you can see, they're slightly bigger since they are 18s. They just slightly fill it up. Now, you can see I kind of have like a small gap in between the wheel and the fender. Height-wise, it's only because the way it sits on wood, the suspension isn't fully like compressed or as low as it could be. So the car will probably drop about anywhere from 1 inch to a ½ inch. All around. You can see that the fitment isn't like the flushest, so what I'm thinking of is putting a 15 to 30mm spacer on the front and then maybe a 25 on the rear. The tire size I'll be going with is going to be a 195 35 18, so I'm not sure how that's going to stretch on these. I'm hoping it's like a nice lip stretch and not just like really fat big tire. Okay, so for fitment wise, I'm debating if I want to do lip to fender or tucking all fours. I'm not sure what I want to run yet. It all depends. Once I get the spindles on the car, then I can go lower in the front about 30mm, and that'll debate if I either want to camber the front end by like -10 and then add a spacer and do lip to fender, or just have like really sunken in wheels and tuck all fours so as I at least have some turning ability. I guess that'll be determined once I get the tires mounted. And I also ordered some JZX arms, so when those get here and we put them on, we can see what camber it'll look like on the front, because JZX arms at about -8 to the front of an is300, and then in the rear when it's fully maxed out stock arms I can run -8. But if I get like Megan lower control arms or even Godspeed, I can run like -13. So I'll probably end up doing that. That way I can have a little more camber than like your typical is300. Alright, so for the wheels, I have a few spacers. I have these, which we're pretty sure they're like 10mm, and then we have these spacers, which are anywhere probably between like 5 and 7mm. If I decide to go lip to fender all the way around, then I'll probably have to get like the huge like bolt-on like 25mm spacers. If I just decide to tuck, I think with a 4 or 5 degrees in the front and then maybe like a 15 in the rear with a couple degrees, I could like tuck all fours, and that would probably look really clean. So as I said, I'll determine what fitment I want to run once I get tires on, and then it'll look like slightly lower only because the jack is literally stuck under it, so you can't see how low it'll actually look. So before I can run these, there's a few things I actually need to do besides buy tires. I actually need to roll both my rear fenders, and then I might possibly try to pick up some different fenders, either if I just go with like an OEM one or maybe like a wider version or some type of like charged 4-speed style vented fenders. The only problem is they're fiberglass. Even if I'm tucking, like the turning radius is still gonna be super tight on them. So I don't know if I wanna like risk that and then risk like chipping the fiberglass a lot. That'll be something I'll have to decide on. Alright, so as I said, I'm still debating on the tire size I wanna run as well as the fitment. Once I debate on the tire size and then I get the tires mounted, I can throw them on and I can decide if I wanna do lip to fender or tucking. Yeah, so I hope you guys liked today's video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.